Imagine a country, one of the poorest in the world, and one day it decides to look up at the stars. People were surprised because everyone asked the same question. Why? Why would a country with so many problems on the ground choose to look to the sky? But this was not just a dream. For years, scientists and engineers worked on an idea that seemed impossible. They built an observatory. They pointed their telescopes toward the heavens, and for the first time, they saw the stars a little closer. Because for them, space was never a luxury. It was the beginning of a better future. Not everyone agreed. Some asked, how can a country invest in space while its people are still struggling? That question is still being asked today. But the scientists had a different answer. For them, space was not about rockets and distant galaxies. It was about predicting droughts, improving agriculture, and giving children something they had almost forgotten. A reason to dream. Then, one day, after years of hard work, a small satellite was ready. It wasn't the biggest, it wasn't the most advanced, but what it represented was far more important. Because sometimes, what matters isn't how far you go, it's whether you take the first step. And one morning, the dreams of a nation rose into the sky. The satellite quietly orbited above Earth. Its data helped scientists. But perhaps its greatest impact wasn't in laboratories. It was in the minds of children. That night, thousands of children looked up at the stars and thought, if they can do it, maybe I can too. Can space really change the future of a nation? Perhaps the answer isn't found among the stars. Perhaps it's found in the fields below. Satellites can predict rain, track droughts, and help millions make better decisions. Because sometimes a satellite is more than a machine in orbit. Sometimes it becomes an invisible helper for families on Earth. And perhaps the most important part of this story was never in space. It was in a classroom. Because when a child looks through a telescope for the first time, their world can change forever. Great changes do not always begin in great places. Sometimes they begin with a small dream. Maybe this story was never really about going to space. Maybe it was about teaching a nation to dream again. Because the stars are equally distant from all of us. And sometimes, a child looking up at the sky can change the future of an entire country. After all, the universe has always rewarded those who dare to look up. Because some nations look down. Others look to the stars. And sometimes, to change the future, all you have to do is raise your head and look at the sky. Keep wondering. Let's continue exploring the facts in our next video. Goodbye.